Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Safraz and I'm from Learn Arabic Through Images. Insha'Allah ta'ala, I'm going to be taking you through a tour of the Arabic language program that I'm creating on iBooks, insha'Allah ta'ala. So let's have a look at the first book. The first type of book is, essentially all of the books are created in IBA, which is basically the platform for iBook Store. They're interactive, so they're multi-touch, multimedia books, and it allows children, adults to sort of control the lesson and learn at their own sort of pace. So if they're fast learners, they can quickly speed through the lesson, and if they're sort of slightly slower, or they want to work at a slower pace, then they can do that as well. So essentially, the child or the adult or the learner is learning at their own pace. Just to sort of proceed, so
bait,
and then it's like a maze. You sort of go through different objects to learn and discover new words. So here it's saying touch my kirsch to continue. Notice it's not allowing me to continue unless I press his kirsch.
bab,
Okay. And I'm sure you've figured that out now, what a kirsch is. Okay. Yep. Again, so touch my anf to continue, and that's his anf there. Sarir. Now, if you read the notice, here you can only continue if you press the object itself. Sarir. Okay, and then so this is just a lesson plan. This is helping me to sort of get familiar with the words and the sounds of the objects at hand.
bait,
And I can do this as many times as I like. If I'm a first learner, then I'll just sort of click on the same object if I want to sort of carry on, or I can just carry on by pressing his anf.
bab, bait.
This is a very quick revision before the questions are asked.
Bab, bait, sarir, bab, sarir.
Okay, now once the student is confident, he can go on to the next stage.
هذا باب.
So now he's building sentences. هذا باب.
هذا بيت.
هذا بيت.
هذا سرير.
هذا سرير. And he can do this
هذا
as many times as he likes. And then the student can answer a number of questions. So for example,
bab.
bab. So I think bab is that one, and
sarir,
sarir, and bait.
Bait.
Let's check the answer. Nope, they're all wrong. Okay, so again,
bab,
bab,
sarir,
sarir,
bait.
Okay, and then check my answer, and I've got them right this time. Yep, and likewise they go through the audio if they don't have the ability to read. So this is ideal for children or babies, children that are under the age of 4 or 5 and they don't have the reading abilities as of yet. I do also have phonic style reading, which excels the child's ability to be able to sort of recognize letters very quickly. Inshallah, I'll show you that in a minute, inshallah ta'ala. Oops, sorry, some of the answers I've already sort of shown. Okay, so Sarir. Here, children become authors of books as well. They can, develop and create. So Sarir, let's see. Nope, that's wrong. Sarir, let me check the answer. That's right, Sarir, and that was done by Liana Ahmed, and this is done by Hamza Ahmed.
Bait.
Is it this one? Nope.
Bait.
There we go. And then they can do drawing exercises. So they have to draw a bab. And then I'm not particularly the best of drawers, but that's irrelevant. Then they can share it as well. They could share it. They can send it to their friends. They can send it to myself. It's linked with to my email address. It's asking them to draw a bab. Oops, sorry. Sorry, this was supposed to be the bab. So there we go. And then the door handle, something like that. Anyway. And then bait. There we go. And so lesson 1 is very, very basic. We're looking at lesson 34 now. Slightly more advanced.
الابن مفتاح هدية جوارب
مشط
مفتاح هدية
And then they can play games. So maybe the teacher could essentially ask them questions. So for example, find مفتاح
جوارب
مفتاح
هدية
مفتاح.
مفتاح
Okay, so they've got it right.
مفتاح جوارب.
And then they have to guess within 5 seconds. مفتاح. Okay, I got that one right. جوارب.
هدية.
جوارب.
Yeah,
so the student is constantly engaged in different sort of activities. Here is a listening and reading exercise. جوارب. So it's asking me جوارب to put جوارب there. Where it reads جوارب. So I believe it's this one.
هدية.
زهرة.
مفتاح. مشط.
And مشط. Sorry, I'm kind of using my left hand because it's slightly easier to hold the camera. So let me check the answer. There we go. Here is revision, so they're revising maybe previous lessons as well. So they're not constantly engaging just the lesson itself, but or at hand, the lesson at hand. However, they're engaged in other lessons as well, or recapping. So
البنتان تتسلقان شجرة.
البنتان تتسلقان شجرة. البنتان تتسلقان شجرة. So that's the blue one. So I need to pick up the blue one and match it, essentially. البنتان تتسلقان شجرة. And I'll do one more.
الولدان يقرآن القرآن.
الولدان يقرآن القرآن. Is it that one? Nope. And then they can go. I'm not going to go through the whole thing as it's going to be just sort of long and tedious. But then they can check the answer and then just keep on revising until they get it right. So that's the Arabic language program. And then I have the Qur'an project as well, which allows children to read phonetically, read the Qur'an phonetically. Now, obviously, this is there's a slight error here. Obviously, there's no mud on top of the alif, which I need to sort of rectify.
لام.
And again, there's another sort of error. So it's just this slide here, in fact. Let me show you a slide that's working slightly better. The. Now, here, what they do is they look at the letter, they touch it, and they learn to sort of get a precise understanding of the letter. Now, obviously, this is for children that have already learnt the u, e, and the sounds of the letters. And again, this is phonic style reading of the Qur'an. So they're slightly more advanced. They've gone through basic reading. In phonic style reading, essentially, there's no names of letters. So this is never taught to a child that this is a dal, or this is a lam, or this is a kaf. Phonic style reading is, this is a the, because it has a, and if it has an u, then it's a dhu, and if it has an e, then it's a the. The, the, li, the, lika. Again, so the silent letters cannot be pressed on, so that it helps the child to learn very quickly that these are letters that are not pronounced or that are silent.
Ki, ta, a, bu,
Bu. Apologize
la,
for the shakiness of the camera.
ra, yi,
Just
ba.
and that's it. That's basically. Obviously, this is an ongoing project. I've only started 2-3 weeks ago, but I hope to sort of have this immersed or introduced into sort of schools, into state schools, and predominantly Islamic schools, where children can sort of learn interactively with the teacher. It's very simple. This iPad can be projected or mirrored onto a projector, onto a TV. It's very easy to do. You don't have to have and it can be used, and it's probably even more effective to use the iPad as opposed to the interactive board, which a lot of schools have, primarily because the teacher can be constantly facing the students. The teacher would never have to have their backs to the students, because they're facing the interactive board. They're engaged with the students. They can see and assess, as you saw, on the sort of scoring sheets and so forth. So jazakumullahu khairan. Apologize if this has been a long video, but I hope this sort of helps to give you a better idea of what I'm trying to develop. Jazakumullahu khairan.